As a licensed physical therapist and a professor at Governor State University, Robbie Kukler O'Shea brings her compassion and care to assist children ages 0 to 3 who have developmental difficulties, particularly underprivileged and at-risk infants and their families. Additionally, Robbie has worked with Chicago area families for adoption and sits on the board at the Center for Independence, a nonprofit committed to improving the lives of children with disabilities.
When I was in high school, I actually worked for an Easter Seals camp and fell in love with physical therapy. And so I was lucky enough to get into a PT program. For the most part, I've always been in pediatrics, some level of pediatrics. And so I enjoy the children, I enjoy the families. So I've always been drawn, and so even in my clinical practice 1 day a week, I still work with the young children. But I also enjoy teaching a lot, and it's fun to be seeing the learning process that goes on and seeing folks develop from awkward physical therapy students into very well-mannered physical therapists that make a difference. It's fun to hear the stories of them coming back and saying how they use stuff that we talked about in class into their own treatment sessions. I get a charge out of teaching, and I think it's just a really fun profession. It's always changing. You're challenged to stay up on the latest and greatest. We're challenged to do research and create the latest and greatest. But most importantly, we're challenged to create good healthcare providers. I think that as I moved into my professional life, I had a security and I was confident in myself. And I think that came from McAuley too, that I was confident that I could be a good young physical therapist and sort of change the world. I think the McAuley philosophy and the expectation when you were 15, 16, and 17 years old that you were expected to problem solve on your own and you were expected to be the best that you could be. You could be the owner of the business. You could be the president of the company. You could influence things at whatever level that you felt your abilities led you to. I'm honored and thrilled to be inducted in the McAuley Hall. I think it's a humbling experience. It was something that I didn't really expect. I didn't wake up in the morning and go, I deserve to be in the McAuley Hall. I think but it's nice that somebody noticed what you're doing.